Sunny tomorrow, high 76. Tomorrow night, slight chance of showers, partly cloudy, low 55.
Alright guys, we're back. You're listening to Let's Talk with the new name Syndicate. That's right guys, you're listening to Let's Talk with Syndicate and a touch of soul. And guys, it's probably one of the best days of my life. Coming to the stage right now, America's #1 Christian comedian. We've got Mr. Mike Warnke. Mike, are you there?
I'm here, brother.
Oh my God! And first of all, I would like to say thank you very much for being on our show today, because you are in California, correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's got to be about 6 o'clock in the morning.
It's exactly 7. It's exactly 7:20 in the morning.
Okay. Oh, and so I know it's early, and thank you so much for doing that. So, Mike, you have lived an amazing life, and I've heard you're one of the greatest storytellers in the world. The first question I would like to ask you is, have you heard of a little town called Bergen, Kentucky?
Yes, sir. I certainly have. I've heard it. I've been to it. I've been in it. I've been out of it. I've been through it. I've been around it. Yes, sir. I do know Bergen well.
Oh, my. So, tell us give us, for all of our listeners out there, we got a lot of, I don't know what they call it. I call them the iPad generation. You got the baby boomers and the X generation. I'm calling these the I generations, the iPhone generation. For all those that don't, that's kind of grown up, give us a history of who you are and what you've done and your accomplishments in life.
Well, let's see. I started out basically in Tennessee. My parents passed, and then after that happened, I went to California, went to high school out here and everything, and then when I got out of high school, I got myself in a mess of trouble, and pursuant to that, went into the military. Back in those days, they didn't have a volunteer military. Those days you could get busted for a felony, and you could have a choice between 4 years in prison or 2 years in the Marine Corps. So regardless of how messed up I was, I went into the military. In the military, I met two guys who introduced me to the Lord. Mm-hmm. I got saved, and I went to Vietnam and did about 6.5 years in the military. When I got out, I went into the ministry. I did my first recording, which was called Mike Warnke Live, and then I guess I don't remember exactly the number, but it's like 14 or 15 albums after that.
What?
4 books. Toured all over the world as a comedian, as a Christian comedian, through some real twists. Ministry kind of passed away and then restarted again. This time, basically, trying as a mentor and a guide for other people in the ministry. And today I'm bishop in my denomination, and my job is to oversee about 50 ministries.
Wow.
And then I do a lot of mentoring, and I'm involved in the men's group at my church here in Modesto. They're called the Company of Resolute Men. Mm-hmm. And that's the thumbnail sketch.
Oh, wow.
Along the way, I picked up some kids. So
yes, sir.
Eating a lot of barbecue at done.
Yes, sir.
When your uncle was still around,
mm-hmm.
I used to sit there in the little place down there on Bergen Road.
We're still there.
Well,
yeah.
When I come back, I'll come see you. But
please do.
I used to sit down there in in the table right next to the window.
It's still there?
So I just sit and eat and watch everybody go by. No, that's the main hobby of everybody in Kentucky. You sit on your front porch and watch people go by.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, between that and letting the paint dry, those are the things that we do. Anyhow,
That's correct.
so we did a lot of time there. Yep. Just, I'm 74 years. I'll be 75 this year. So
Really?
it's been a pretty long run. Had some health problems. I know you're friends with some of my kids, so I know that they probably let you know that. And, so I don't travel much anymore because I'm not basically allowed to. But yeah, I get by. I do a lot of stuff online, and I do calls to friends in Kentucky and do their radio shows and stuff like that.
That is awesome. Where did the term "rumble us up" come from?
Well, that came from my daughter, Catherine.
Mm-hmm.
Catherine Peebler. She, about around there, calls it cat. And,
Yes.
we were down at the beach in Florida on vacation, and she was watching the waves come up on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Man," she said, those waves could rumble you up," and it just stuck. And she's always saying stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
She's a lot of her sayings have popped up here and there in different things that I've done. I've got a DVD. No, it's not a DVD. No, it's a DVD. All right. There's that I did up in Ohio, and she's right on the front row there, grinning real big and stuff. So
Yeah, it's on the YouTube video.
yeah.
She got a purple
It's,
song.
yeah, I haven't seen it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, she's a case.
Mm.
She definitely got my DNA.
Yes.
So she got my craziness to her. So
Mm-hmm. She was telling me about a 10-speed and brown shoe.
10-speed and brown shoes. I don't remember that.
Boyfriend jokes?
Boyfriend jokes.
Mm. Well, hey,
I don't remember them. Sorry, I don't remember them.
could you get...
Probably talking about killing somebody that was trying to date her.
Probably so. Could you give us one of your great stories that you used to tell us, that you used to do? Could you bless our audience with one?
Well, I remember one of the ones about Catherine was talking back in the day when everybody was just getting into the whole Valley Girl talk.
Mm-hmm.
I heard her talking to one of her friends about getting saved, and she was saying, well, like there was this like garden, and there was like these two people that were like in it, and one's name was Adam, and the other one's name was like Eve, and they were there, and everything was cool, and God came to visit them in the afternoons, and then one day a snake came up. I mean, gagged me with an entire place setting. And so the snake got Eve to mess up, and then God had to have a new plan, and it was you'd have to hear it. It was hilarious. And you can think of Catherine's voice doing that, you know. And then one time I was trying to lose weight. I've been trying to lose weight. I was doing this diet where you had to make a shake.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in the kitchen and put it in the blender and forgot to put the top on and turned that sucker on, and it went everywhere. And I looked over and the girls were just dancing around the kitchen going, "Get some, Dad! Get some, Dad!" Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
So you travel... Go ahead.
What was that joke I just heard the other day? I don't remember. say that a lot these days, and I say I don't remember a lot these days. I didn't used to say that at all, but nowadays, at 74, I find myself losing. When we hang up, I remember all these stories.
That's okay. Yeah, you're gonna come back. You're gonna come back on our show. We're gonna have you back. We're gonna have you because this was a last minute, and I appreciate it. But we want you to come on periodically.
Okay.
If that's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember. Gosh, I was just gonna.
So.
I went to my doctor at the VA, and lady doctor, and I was telling her I was having a hard time remembering things, and I was concerned about getting dementia or Alzheimer's, and she said, "Well, I can give you a test." And she's an Oriental lady, and so she has a little bit of an accent. It's very, very cute. She said, "I will give you a test." I said, "Okay." So she gave me this test, and what it was is she told me all these things, made all these statements, and then she went back and started asking me questions about the statements she made. One of them was, there was this guy, he lived in Boston at 24 Beacon Hill Road. And then later on she asked me, that guy lives in Boston, where does he live? I said, well, he lives in Beacon Hill Road, but I cannot remember the house number. Then about 2 questions down, I said, I remember that house number. It's 24 Beacon Hill. She goes, at the end of the thing, she goes, well, she says, you passed the test. You not have Alzheimer's disease. I said, that's good. She said, no, you're just old. I said, what? I said, no, you're just old. She said, young men have a file drawer, and they have a few files in them. Somebody that's lived as long as you has got a great big old file drawer and a whole lot of files in them, and it just takes you a while to thumb through the files to find an answer.
That is true.
But that made me feel a lot better.
Yeah,
I'd rather know that I got a big file cabinet than a piece of brains, so there you have it.
Wow, and you have lived a marvelous life. You've had private jets. You used to have your own private jet in Junction City, correct?
Well, it wasn't a jet. We have a cousin named Harry Rainier. He's gone to be with the Lord now, but there was a time where he let us borrow his jet a couple of times. But really what we had was we had a Cessna 440 with hotbacks. It was jet assist engines.
Oh my!
And it used to stay out at a twin engine plane, but it's pressurized so you could get up high. Just keep it out of Junction City. You sure did.
Oh my!
And that's what we were doing. We were doing 25 one-night stands a month. 25 one-night stands a month.
Wow.
In those days. So, we would get in the plane in the morning, we'd fly to the next location, get out, rest in the afternoons, and then, go to the show that night, do it, finish up, sleep, get up the next morning, get in the plane, fly to the next location, and that's what we did. That's what I did for about 25 years.
Oh my gosh!
So
that had to be exhausting after the first 5 years.
Well, it was, and there's a lot of cost to that kind of being on the road. If you're going to make it though in the recording business, you have to tour. I don't know. You probably heard a million people say that you have to tour.
Yeah.
And we were right at the crest of the wave, so I was touring a lot. But see, I missed a lot of things with the girls. I missed a lot of things with my sons. There's been a big price to pay for that kind of a lifestyle. A lot of people got saved, and we're thankful for that. And we did very well. But at a point, it kind of got to be where it was more about doing the comedy and less about doing the ministry. But see, now the Lord didn't call me to be a comic. The Lord called me to be a minister. P.S. I'm funny. And so what happened was we got the P.S. of the letter in the bottom of the letter. Hey, P.S. I want to tell you about Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's how things got all, twisted around and wonky and that kind of thing. And that kind of thinking will cost you.
Wow.
So, yeah. I publicly apologize to my girls for not being around as much as they wanted me to be.
But they're still there and they love you. Kat, I tell you what she done for me. Well, she stops by Dunn Company. All the boys, they come in. I just seen the two. They got a country band now. They coming out. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have them on the show here in a couple of weeks. But Kat, she always, every time I get a car, true story, and I've got 3 vehicles now. I've got a disco ball in every one of my cars. She gets me a disco ball, and it's hanging on my mirror. If you see a car, a disco ball, and that's my car. And
why not have any problem believing that?
Because we both like roller skating. And
I know. She's a mess, man.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. In your ministry, was there ever a point that you really just felt the presence of God just like moving in you?
Yeah, it was interesting, for example, we used to do a big, in those days we used to call them concerts.
Mm-hmm.
We used to do a big thing in Louisville every year. And this is just an example. This kind of happened every night. I'd walk out on the stage, and the place would be full of people, just thousands of people.
Wow.
And it didn't matter. It didn't matter to me. Stuff could be going on. Weird stuff could be happening. I could have had the worst day in the world. I could have been sick as a dog. But when my feet hit the planks, it was all about telling those people about the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And I use comedy as my hook. That's what got people in the door. That's what got people kind of around. You can make friends with people really quick if you make them laugh.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about the Lord, it's serious stuff. And sometimes if you don't know people, they're not going to take it from you. But if you can take the first 35 minutes of the show and you can make people laugh, then they get to feeling friendly towards you. And then when they get to that place, then you can start talking to them about the Lord.
Mm.
So to answer your question, every time I walked out on stage, I felt the presence of the Lord.
Awesome.
And a lot of stuff has happened and everything, but I've never ever stopped talking about the Lord. I tried to stop a couple of times, but it didn't work. I stopped. I went to work. I was living in Oklahoma, and I went to work at a little restaurant that a friend of mine owned, and I was doing the morning shift. He was doing breakfast, so I go in, open the store, and then make breakfast. I only lasted one day. Because I was there, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and some kid from the university, this is where Oklahoma State is, and so this kid came in, and was obviously pulled an all-nighter. His eyeballs looked like they were, painted with red markers and hanging out on little sticks, and he had a real fistful of money and a gum wrapper and everything, and he just dumped it all on the counter, and he said, what'll that get me? I said, that'll get you an egg. One egg.
One egg.
That's what I thought. One egg. So I said, I want that. He said, well, I want it sunny side up. And I said, all right. So I went in there, and this is a college town place, and so we used paper plates. And so there's this one egg. So I worked for him, put it on the plate, went out, sat it down in front of him, both stood there and looked at that egg, and as we were looking at it, the grease was just soaking into that plate. That egg was just laying there looking at us, and I looked up at him, and he looked at me, and he said, I better get out of here. I said, yep, me too. I went through the egg away, we both left, I locked up, called my boss, and said I quit. But he couldn't get the eyebrow of that egg out of my mind, And so yeah, it just went right back on the road again.
Wow. But when God's got something for you, you can try to run from it all you want, but he'll bring you right back to it. And I know he's proud of all the things that you've done and the people that you've saved. What is probably the biggest attendance of your concerts that you've ever had?
Just me. Well, I say just me. We did a thing at the Tacoma Dome in Washington, up by Seattle. Mm-hmm. And Bloodgood, the band Bloodgood, opened for us. And we had 18,000 people at that show. Wow. Just them and me in the microphone. So that was the biggest single one.
Wow.
But then we used to do festivals, so we had 30,000, 40,000 people at festivals.
Oh, my.
So, but that was in the day. That was Andre Crouch and, Amy Grant and, all these people there. And so we'd have these huge crowds for like 3 or 4 days. And a lot of those shows, I emceed them as well as finishing the nights by bringing the altar call and stuff. Just see thousands of people come forward and stuff. It was very cool.
Oh my God.
And it was in kind of a for us in those days. It was kind of a contemporary setting because people weren't doing what we did. We were using contemporary music. We were using rock and roll. We were we're doing comedy, all of these things that hadn't been done before.
Wow.
Dr. Graham was doing big shows too, and he was a classical evangelist. Mm-hmm. But there was all Jesus people, as we called.
Yeah.
We were doing a very contemporary thing for our time, and we reached out to a specific group of people. But it's got to be something that everybody enjoyed, so we started having really big crowds. Everybody started getting lots of albums and Petra and I just Catherine sit down with her and she'd remember every one of those groups. So
wow, that is absolutely amazing. Well, hey, can you hold on for just 1 second? I want to keep you on if you don't mind. You got a few more minutes with me?
Yeah.
Kat's watching the show right now. She told me to tell you, love you, Dad.
I love her too.
Yeah.
Love her better than a cat loves cream.
So we're going to go pay some bills real quick, and when we come back, we will have America's #1 greatest Christian comedian, Mr. Mike Warnke. You're listening to Let's Talk with Syndicate and a Touch of Soul.
Hey, everybody, let me ask you a couple questions. Do you like to eat?
Yes!
Do you like to eat great food?
Yes!
Do you like to cook?
No!
Do you like to save money?
Yes! Yes!
Then it's obvious. You would like big deals from the Hometown Radio Network Big Deals Online Store. Buy Hometown Radio Big Deal gift certificates from local restaurants and you save big bucks. Great local eating places like the Bread of Life Cafe, Whole Latte Love, Danville's Applebee's, Lancaster Subway, the old bus station in Harrisburg, Sweets by Cindy, Salted Honey Cafe in Parable, the 19th Hole Restaurant, Starbucks and Steak and Shake at the Harrisburg Campbellsville University campus. And there's more with big discounts. Just go to the Hometown Radio Network's Big Deals website, save big bucks on great local eateries and other businesses. Check them all out at hometownlive.net. Big Deals Online Store. Go to hometownlive.net, open 24/7. Big Deals.
Listening, we got on a break right now, but I don't want to stop because I got a great interview with a good friend of mine, Mr. Mike Warnke, a new friend. And so right now we're just gonna take a little walk because I have to stretch my legs. And we got Joe. Hey, Joe. Joe Show. Check out the Joe Show Monday through Friday from 6 in the morning, Joe. 6 to 10. Bless his heart. That is so early. I couldn't get up at early. And so we are walking, and then we got Radio Rick in the morning. He said he'd texting his wife happy birthday. Today's his wife's birthday. Would you get her? Huh? You better. Uh-oh, he's in trouble.
You better not say.
I know, right? All right, guys. So we just at the radio station, and there's Mr. Jim, and just stretching my legs, and we are getting back to the show. Here we go. Yep. All right. Let's log back in. If there's a song you want to hear later on this afternoon, give us a call. 859-734-4321. And we are about to get back with Mr. Mike Warnke. And if there's a question you'd like to ask Mike, just post it on this page right here. And I can get it and send it to him. Here we go. Almost done. Put this in here. Guys, let's see here. Why not hear anybody? Hey, Rick.
Storm today, a high of 70, winds up to 30 miles an hour. Chance of showers and thunder showers tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 51. Sunny tomorrow, high 76. Tomorrow night, slight chance of showers, partly cloudy, low 55.
All right, guys, we are back. You're listening to Let's Talk with Syndicate and a touch of soul. And we're going to get right back to the show, guys. All right, Mr. Warnke, we are with America's number one, here we go, America's number one Christian comedian, Mike Warnke. Are you there back with us, Mike?
Yeah. I have to say, former number one. When I started doing comedy, there were few and far between. There was another guy named Grady Nutt and another guy named Don Loney, and now they were the only about Christian comedians there were. But now there are many guys that and gals that do Christian comedy. You know, Mark Lowry, Sean DePierce, people like that. And I've been out of that particular genre probably for 20 years.
Wow.
As far as touring and recording and stuff. Somebody asked my wife, said, is he still funny? She said, you don't understand, he doesn't have a choice.
Right.
It's the operation of a deranged mind, and he's crazy. So yeah, he's still funny. I just don't do it like quote unquote professionally anymore.
Right. Well, you're the first, America's first number one Christian comedian.
Yes. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I think that.
You laid the groundwork down,
I tell you, man. Dug a lot of ditches for that puppy. I need to just say one thing. I want to say hello to my other daughters that live in the area. Chrissy, Blanche Christina Cummings and her husband, Eric, and I want to say hi to Michelle and Mark Scott over in Lancaster, and my granddaughters, Catherine Stump and Alex Penix. You probably know Chris and Alex.
Yep.
And all the boys, Linwood and Bowman and Rainier. Oh, guys, I miss you. Sorry I haven't been able to come see you this year because of the COVID, but hopefully we'll get back sometime the latter part of this year. So, hope we'll be able to catch up, everybody.
And
go ahead. So, hi to everybody at St. Barnabas, the Encourager Church there on Main Street. Pam Sims is the minister there, and we've been friends for a long time. Well, just I don't know who else is listening, but
Gio Cutler, Mike Conover.
Mike Conover.
He's got the house.
My neighbors.
Your house that or was it a house or was it a business? I have been inside of it. It is absolutely marvelous. I don't know if you built that about that, huh?
in Bergen?
Yes.
Yeah, he has that. That was our offices, yeah.
That was, oh my gosh, the carpet, when you walk in it, I feel like I had to take my shoes off.
Well, yeah, we tried to do it really nice.
Man,
and the idea is anything you do for the Lord should be excellent.
On one side, you've got the altar on one side with the pews and things, and then on the other side, the office with the wraparound ladder with the bookcase. Oh my gosh, I was like, this is amazing.
Wow.
And it's still in that same condition today.
That's good. That's great.
And that really is really. And at one point in time, I don't know if just kind of give you a little history on what's going on here. Campbellsville University has moved to Harrodsburg. And
that's what I hear.
Yeah, and so Mike works a lot with them, and they were looking at maybe turning that into one of their seminaries.
Well, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so there's been some hearsay, and I don't know so I can't give a definite on it, but I know there was some talk about it at one point in time.
Well, if it would be able to be used for the Lord again, that would be really great.
Wow. So tell us, when you lived in Bergen, tell us some of the fun things that you like to do in this area.
Lake. Used to love to go to the lake.
Mm-hmm.
I used to make periodic trips down to Bardstown, to Gethsemane, to the monastery. I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
And just, basically in Harrodsburg, just hanging out and eating barbecue at Dunn's and, eating stuffed pie at Clouds and, just going to church and Family of God and just have friends and running around, just the country life. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and Bergen hasn't changed. We still got one stoplight.
That's good, man. We need that one stoplight.
I know, right?
Is that motorcycle place still there?
Yes, no, but it has changed. It was called a kickstand, and no, they had kind of for health reasons, they couldn't keep it going too much more. But I tell you what they've replaced it with is with the Bergen Dairy Barn, and that anything. There's certain properties, no matter what you do there, it's going to succeed. And there's certain businesses, no matter what you put there, it ain't gonna work. Something's wrong with that ground. It's cursed, and that kickstand place, no matter what you put there, it's gonna succeed. And it's the Bergen Dairy Barn, and no matter what time of the day you go by there, they've got a line.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, they do milkshakes and cheeseburgers. All of them, this is like a Coney Island type of little place right in Bergen, and they're absolutely amazing.
The Village Inn still across the street?
No, we've lost the Village Inn. Yeah, that was a historic spot too. Yeah, that was a great place in Bergen. So now that you got a ministry now that you're doing, how can we follow you? If our listeners wanted to kind of get back and start following you, is there any way that they could follow you on Facebook or any kind of?
Mm-hmm. There's Facebook, and then there is also, I'm on YouTube.
Okay.
There are a lot of people that have posted things on YouTube, but there is one site that's called Mike Warnke Official, and that I post there once or twice a week. And so that'd be a great place to keep up.
Yeah, I just started my YouTube channel this week, Mike.
Cool.
It's called Syndicate 510. SINDICAT 510. I'm actually recording this interview right now, and if it's okay with you, after your permission, I will upload it up on there today or tomorrow.
Sure. And anybody that's listening, if you want to go over to mine and you can subscribe to my channel, and it's free. Mm-hmm. And we're believing that the Lord's going to give us 1,000 subscriptions. It's only been up for a few weeks. We've got about 300 at the moment. And if you follow us on Facebook, there are two places to go. One is just Mike Warnke. That's my what I call my personal Facebook.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of people on there. But then there is a page called The Real Mike Warnke, and that was my fan page. And there's no limit to the number of people that I can have on there, and there are quite a few. And those people are all over the world. Wow. I get feedback on that from all over the world. And so if you're on one of those pages, every time I post on YouTube, I have it set up so it goes straight to Facebook as well, give you the heads up that there's a new post, and you can just click on the link, and it'll take you right to whatever I'm talking about that particular week. So
now, do you have your YouTube channel is Mike Warnke Official? Okay, just want to make sure. There's a video on YouTube of you that is super duper funny, and it's like you're in the jungle somewhere. Have you seen it?
I think that's the cover of one of our things. I think that was Stuff Happens. That's the name of that album, and that's the one that has the story about me blowing up the shake maker in the kitchen, and it also has the one with Catherine and her talking about that girl's Christian stuff. There's a bunch of stuff. People have put stuff up there that because they just love me and they want people to be able to see me. And we've since we put up our own YouTube channel, we've asked those guys to kind of back off a little bit because we want to be able to
claim that,
for the ministry, but they're still there and people can still see them, and we're going to start serializing all of the stuff that I've done in the years, and so every time we post something, it'll be like one cut. Off of one album or one CD or DVD or whatever. So it's all happening, boys and girls. It's all happening.
That's right. And this one it's an interview with the lady. She has this microphone, and I think it was, I forget how it was. He was talking about when you first got saved, and it was pretty cool. There's bugs flying everywhere. You gotta check it out.
I don't know. I have to go back and see if I can see that one.
And you did super.
The only one I know that was a jungle theme, and that was just the cover of the album. Was that one I was telling you about? It's got me hanging out of a tree with the snake coming after me.
But this one was an actual interview, and you were there. You had this cool hippie vibe look to you. I was like, this guy's so cool, man. Check this dude out. Like, I want to know who this guy is, And I talked to Pat, and I said, can you get your dad to come on the show? And it just had popped. It was like, how God just gives you like a thought, and it's like, wow, you got to act on it. And I felt like just God has gave me that thought, and I was just going through everything I could find of you. And by the time that I had gotten off the phone, Kat had already like, we'll see if we can do something.
Yeah. And another person that was really in favor of you coming on was Jill Cutler.
Yes. Yeah.
So she. I think Catherine and Jill and you all.
The Trinity.
Hit my email at the same time.
That was the Trinity.
Yes.
Well, I've got 20 more seconds. You got any last words? And thanks for coming on the show with me. And we definitely want to have you back on. But you got any last words for our listeners?
Well, we miss being in Kentucky. We love you guys. We love Harrisburg and Mercer County and just care for all of you a lot, and keep us in your prayers as we keep you in our prayers. And I hope to see you soon.
Yes, sir. I'm so looking forward to it. And I got a barbecue sandwich for you from Dunn's.
God, good. His word is true, and it works in my life. Hallelujah.
All right, guys. Thanks, Mike, for coming on. You have a wonderful and blessed day, and I'll be talking to you soon.
God bless you, buddy.
Yes, sir. All right, guys, you listen to Let's Talk with Syndicate and a touch of soul. And we kind of went over a little bit, but that's all fine. And I'll see you guys in just a few more minutes. You've been listening to Let's Talk with Syndicate, and we've had the first American's greatest Christian comedian, Mike Warnke, on the line. Bound to the news.
Average creating a yield for the past 10 years.
He says history has shown that over time, voter suppression affects the earning capacity of minorities. Then he says there's the